Hello everyone. Good morning. Jai Shri Krishna. Today's topic is homicide case, the murder case, okay, in the Meghalaya case, in which I am going to discuss about the astronomical analysis, divine chart. Okay, this is presented by me, Dr. Akshita Sharma, okay, from Rajasthan. So, here you see the photo of the couple. So, first, let's discuss about a psychopath person, okay, a brutal murderer. So, horoscope of the birth details of a person or a criminal. So the name is a Sonam, sex female, date of birth is uh, the 20 August 2000, time of birth the 18:05 p.m. the 6 p.m. in the evening, day Sunday, Tithi Shrishti, and the Paksha is a Krishna Paksha. Okay, and this reference is taken by from the media channel Times Now Bharat and the TV19 Bharatvash. So Sonam is a criminal who has brutally killed her husband, and she is known as a Devi in the Indian birth chart in astrology because her Gana is a Devata. Okay, for male it is considered Devata, God, and for female it is considered the god is Devi. All right, so, well, first let's understand the Avkhara chakra. This chakra is known as a wheel of the fate, the wheel of the your destiny. Okay, so in Hindi it is like the लोगों के जीवन को नियंत्रित करने वाली कथित शक्ति or a power or a भाग्य. That is, you are born with this. So she is born with this name, the Sonam. The Gana is a Devata. Okay, if you are a male, you consider yourself as a god, and if you are a female, a goddess, then you should consider yourself as a part of the Devi Kali. And the Yoni is a Ashwa, horse. Okay, the Varna is a Kshatriya Varna that comes in the Rajput community. Nadi is a Adi, the ascendant. The Lagna is a Capricorn, the Makar Lagna. Okay, so the lord of the Capricorn is a Saturn, the moon zodiac sign. Okay, the Chandra Rashi is a Aries, Mesha Rashi, and the sun sign Leo, the August born. Okay, Nakshatra, if we talk about the Nakshatra, birth star Dashwani Pada, and the birth star lord is a Ketu. Okay, the Ketu is a demon, and the Gotra is a Rishi, Marichi Rishi. Okay, element is a Artha, and the dynasty is a Surya Vanshi. Okay, so her guru is a sage Marichi, her Gotra. So Sonam's death prediction. Let's see the malefic things about the Sonam. Okay, so bad day for her the Sunday. The Bava current, the bad Lagna is a Aries. Okay, and the bad month is a Kartik month that comes in the October and the November. The bad nakshatra is a Maga nakshatra, letter M, that is bad for her. The bad for her is a 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. First for her, bad Rashi, Mash, and the bad Tithi, the first six, the Pratipada, Shashti, and the Ekadashi. The bad yoga, the Vish Kumbha yoga, and the bad planet is a Mercury because Mercury is a combust in this in her chart, and the evil number that is a fourth and eighth, unfavorable number, a number they won't support her. Okay, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So now what are the auspicious things for her? So the auspicious direction for her, the southern direction, the south direction, the auspicious color, blood red, symbol horse head, gemstone, the coral, the carnelian, and the birth letter Chi. Okay, so Chi comes from the Chitteshwari, the Adi Chitteshwari Devi temple that is present in the West Bengal in India. So the temple is dedicated to goddess Durga with this. So Adi Chitteshwari Devi, which is derived from the Sanskrit word chitta. Chitta, that means your mind, your consciousness, and as the embodiment of the divine consciousness. Okay, and the Ishwari that belongs to the Ishwar, the God. Okay, so our mind, our consciousness belongs to the divine, to the Lord, to the universe. So you see the picture of the goddess Durga, known as Adi Chitteshwari Devi, that is present in Calcutta, West Bengal, and Bengal is a place of the Hindu Tantric Vidya as well. So here is a Lagna chart of the Sonam. First, the Lagna chart is a D1 chart, Capricorn. So here you see the degree of the planets. So if you see the degree, the Mercury has a low degree. Okay, so 2 degree. Okay, so the Mercury is a combust in her chart. So this chart is active from the age 0 when you are not born, okay, when a native is not born till the 30 years of their age. So, what are the planetary positions? Let's understand. The first house is empty, second is also empty, third is also empty, fourth is a moon. So, where the moon is placed, we call the moon sign. Okay, so moon is placed in the fourth house in a first sign. Okay, in a Aries. So, her moon zodiac sign, her Chandra Rashi is a Mesh Rashi. Now, the fifth house is okay. The Jupiter and the Saturn is present in the fifth house, and the sixth house, the Rahu is present in the seventh house, Mars, and the eighth house, in the eighth house, the Mercury, Venus, and Sun conjunction. All right. In ninth house, that is empty, 10th empty, the 11th empty, and the 12th Ketu. Okay. So let's understand about the traits about the houses, okay, or the planets. The first house is empty. That says that a person lacks a sense of self and identity, a straightforward person, and a less dramatic approach to their life. And a person is a more neutral. And a native more emphasis on the material gains and a self-esteem. And native struggle to focus and lack of direction. So this is a traits or the attributes of the empty house. Second, if the second house is empty in the if you have the Capricorn chart, that means a lack of wealth and a negative life, a conservative approach to manage your finances and the wealth, and a very serious personality. Third house is that is also empty. Less focus on communication skills and the short travel, siblings, or neighborhood interactions. Person likes isolation, solitude. The more focus on areas like the career or relationships. Fourth house is moon. The more focus on the home, family, emotional security in the relationships, okay, and deep emotional connection to the home, family, and relationship, and also like she is belong to the number two. The number two is related to the planet moon. So deep emotional connections, very sensitive emotional person, particularly very sensitive to the changes. And a moon in a fourth house, it shows that she has a strong attachment to her mother. Okay, the fourth house is related to the mother. So she has a strong attachment with her. She likes to collect photos and things that remind her of the past memories. She likes indoor games as well, and she likes to hold on the past. Okay, so that is very difficult for a person to forget the past if a moon is placed in the fourth house. So here, next, the fifth house. Fifth house, there is a Yukta Yoga. Okay, the Jupiter and Saturn. So what does it mean, the Yukta? Yukta, that means when the two planets, one or more planets, that comes together, that becomes the Yukta Yoga. Okay. So it creates the Brahma Hatya dosha as well. Okay. So when the Jupiter and Saturn comes together, it creates the Brahma Hatya dosha. Okay. Hatya dosha. So Natu has a tendency to kill anybody. Okay. So a person wants to kill anybody if the Jupiter and Saturn placement in the fifth house. The Guru and the that is known as a Jupiter planet. This gives the intelligence, wise to being a very idealistic in the love relationships. The Guru gives the fame and the reputation, and it brings joy in romantic relationships, good fortune in a very speculative ventures like gambling. Okay, so because of the Mars is combust also, the Mars is a weak in the seventh house. So the Guru gives us such kind of the knowledge which is related to the illegal things, speculative ventures. In India, it is illegal, but in outside of the India, it's a legal. So gambling, casinos, like the blackjack, that is known as a 21 banking game, the relates, a wheel game, a baccarat, the card game, the craps, a dice game, and a poker, 5 card game. So people, uh, a native likes so much indoor games or the speculative uh, ventures. Okay, now the Saturn gives a deep feeling of the wanderlust and brings disappointments. Saturn is a very hard planet, okay, very rude planet. It creates the condition of the two marriages or the problems in the married life. Saturn gives like disown the father's property. Okay, you won't get any father property if you have such kind of the combination. And if you see the degree of the Saturn and the Jupiter, that is also a weaker degree, okay, the low degree. And Saturn makes you a slow, quiet, and a patient. Saturn is a very slow moving planet. So a person will be very slow, quiet, and a patient. And Jupiter Saturn conjunction also causes emotional disturbances, that desire for the solitude and the distress. And the sixth house Rahu, okay, in the third, in the Gemini sign. The Gemini is a enemy of the Aries sign. Sixth house says that the Rahu positions here makes her sharp minded, okay, very sharp minded. They will She will have a deep knowledge of the different weapons, okay. She likes weapons as well. Rahu makes a person mentally very confused. The conditions sometimes provoke her to take the wrong path to get their success. Seventh house is Mars. Okay, so this placement known as a Mangalic person, because the Mars is a weak here, and the first seventh, if your Mars is placed um, in the both houses or other houses, that is known as a Mangalic person. Okay, it creates a marital discord, so that this difficulties, short-tempered, sharp-eyed, to some extent, and associated with the impulsive actions. A fear of getting burned. Okay, they have a fear of fire. They have a tendency to engage in the arguments or confrontations with partners that brings a desire for the independence. Eighth house is the Mercury, the Venus and Sun combination. So Mercury Sun creates the Buddha-Aditya Yoga, and the Sun and the Venus creates the Lakshmi Narayan Yoga. All right, a person will be very creative and a skillful person are very much involved in the technical creativity, a good monetary gains from the spouse through the marriage bond and the earning of the spouse, but can give the separation from the spouse because the person is a Manglik. Okay, so Manglik person has a Mars in the first house, or in the seventh house, or the second, fourth, eighth, and the 12th also. Okay, now, so, if we talk about the negative results of the this combinations, the unconventional sexuality, greediness, addictions of making money. Okay, the very materialistic person, and the positive results like the good communication, eloquence of speech, and a good sense of humor. Ninth house is empty, that indicates some more focus on the practical things, material aspects of life rather than the intellectual pursuits or the spiritual inclinations. Okay, a person will be not spiritual as well. Okay, a person would not consider any kind of the traditions or the ritual, any kind of the the ancient traditions or spirituality. 10th house is empty. It is known as a karma bhava. Okay, the karma bhava ruled by the Libra Venus. Okay, this bhav, uh, seventh is placed here. Seven zodiac is a Libra. Okay, Libra Lord is a Venus. So career in the creative field because of the Venus influence. Okay, so person has a more interest in the fashion, media, TV, entertainment, like the movie, drama, or the art design and the music. 11th house is empty, that says the labha bhava, okay, for the material gains. It governs your friendship as well, social circles, hopes, dreams, and the realization of your desire. But a person will have the less friends, less social circle, or no social life because it is empty, and the social and the friendship bonds. Now let's talk about the 12th house. 12th house is known as a moksha bhava or the vibhav, and here in this chart is ruled by the Sagittarius. All right, the Sagittarius lord is a Jupiter. Okay, so the Ketu is present in the 12th bhav. Ketu provides the detachment and gives forcefully spirituality. If person is not spiritual enough, then the Ketu forcefully provides the spirituality that you have to become the spiritual person. The Ketu gives the detached attitude towards the material pleasures and provides a solitude as well, like the imprisonment, jail, and sometime hospital as well. Ketu strongly suggests to native explore the different type of the spiritual pilgrimages, and displacement also associated with the sleep disturbances, insomnia, potentially other some health issues that is related to the eyes or the brain, the mental health issues and all that. Ketu as a planet of the moksha liberation. guides the individual towards the spiritual truths and the path of the enlightenment about the divine consciousness. The person spends a lot and is often troubled by the excessive expenditure. And Ketu in the 12th house, a person loves mother a lot rather than other relationships like the siblings, father, and friends. All right, now what are the Karaka planets? So there are the two types of the Karaka planets. First is the Atma Karaka and the second is the Dara Karaka. Atma Karaka in the Sonam chart, that is a Venus, which is a 23 degree, and the Mercury, that is a 2 degree. Okay, so in the Karaka planets, we don't count the Rahu and Ketu. So here you see the Mercury 2 degree and the Venus is a 23 degree, except the Rahu and the Ketu. So what is Atma Karaka? In the Gemini astrology, the highest degree is in your birth chart signifies the Atmakarika. So Atmakarika signifies your soul intention, unresolved karma, and the inner nature that you are here to refine. It represents your karmic identity in a growth path and the core soul purpose. What is your soul purpose? And which is used for understanding the long-term purpose, the long-term direction, and your personal development in your growth. So now what is a Dharakaraka? Dharakaraka is a planet holding the lowest degree. So in the Sonam chart, the Mercury is a 2 degree. Okay. So excluding the Rahu and Ketu, that reflects the partner you attract and relationship challenges and themes around your emotional connection and union. It represents your spouse, committed relationships, dynamics, and emotional intimacy, which is used for the particular marriage purpose, compatibility analysis, or the relation themes. So here now the weakest debilitated position in her chart, the Mars in the Cancer sign in the seventh house, which is the house of the spouse, which is a debilitated because of the weak Mangal or the Mangalic dosha. The when your Mars is present in the first house, seventh house, and the second, fourth, eighth, and the 12th, that means you are a Mangalic person. Okay, so here let's see once again. Okay, so in the seventh house, you see the Mars is present here. So that's why she is a Mangalik, and the Mangal is a weak, and the Mercury is also combust, that is also weak, which doesn't provide any power. So what are the results because of the weak planets? It reduces your power, diminish life, more difficulty in expressing yourself, more ego-driven communication, intellectual stagnation. Okay, the Mercury is very low, only 2 degrees, so no intellect and all that. Like what is so like intellectual stagnation, like they do not decide, they are not able to decide like what is right and what is wrong for them, and they are more action oriented, like a fighter or a killer because of the weak Mars. Okay, the weak Mars network can kill anybody because of the aggression, and the person will be very dominant in personality, sometimes rude and the ruthless person. So now let's understand the current Vimshotri Mahadasha. Okay, so in her chart the Sun Dasha is going on, which is about 6 years. Mars and the Mercury is combust. Okay, they have no power over the other planets. The Venus is a Yogaraka, although but remedies for the Mars and Mercury here. So if you are also Manglik, so you have to worship the Lord Hanumana, recite Hanuman Chalisa, visit Hanuman temple. Before marriage, you have to perform the Vishnu Viva at any temple. And after marriage, the Kumbh Viva is very necessary. And also the Navgraha Puja and marriage after 30 or 35 years. Okay, so if you are a Manglik person, do not get hurry for for the marital life, and chant Hanuman mantra as well. Om Hanumante Namaha, or any mantra which you know, and worship the Ganesha if your Mercury is combust like her. So worship the Ganesha, recite the Vignanashak Ganesha Stotram. Now the what are the remedies for the sun planet? Because the sun dasha is going on, so you have to worship the dasha lord. So Aditya Hardya Stotram, offer the water to the Lord Sun. Wearing a copper bracelet or ring is very useful. Chanting the Surya Bij mantra, Om Ham Him Hom Sa Suryahe Namahe. Om Suryahe Namahe. So for if you are also in the Sun Mahadasha, you have to do such type of remedies.